Well, fuck's sake. Fucking fuck. Right, okay, so let's get this party started. Everything's gone wrong, but I'm the Yeti, just what you expect. Here we go. Big up, everybody. How are you doing? I've just invited Mamma Flossy as well. So hope everyone is well. Big up to you, Carl Rossi. Bloody hell, mate. Everything went wrong there. Everything. My keyboard weren't working, so trying to get that working. So I had to unplug from the USB hub, and then all of a sudden the mouse stopped working. So I've had to like turn the PC off and like reboot it and all this that and the other. These are just the kind of things that you get when you reel. You see, you don't set anything up or anything like that because that just wouldn't be me. So you do it all off the cuff and it all goes fucking wrong. And it's just one of those things, isn't it? Really, big up to everybody. I have actually invited Mama to the stream as well. This is going to be the preview with Forest and Newcastle. Game I'm massively looking forward to be honest with you. And nothing wrong. Yeti is here. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Hope everyone is doing good and ready for the weekend. Got quite a few sort of decent games this week. Obviously, Man City, Liverpool being a really big one. Although I think I've got a funny feeling Liverpool will do all right with Man City. But I think Liverpool tend to struggle with teams that really sort of like get at them and stuff like that. And Man City don't really do that. So I think they should be all right in that respect. How does everybody see us going with Newcastle? I think it's going to be a very, very tough game, to be honest. It always is. Always is a tough game. Massive respect for Newcastle as always. So, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see exactly what happens. I've got to sort it out on Sunday because I got another rat this morning. Well, actually, I got it last night because I heard it go into the thing last night. I actually heard the trap go last night. Found it this morning. Quite a smaller rat than the others. But, Mama, hold up, let's get it right on here. That right on cue. I couldn't get anything working. The keyboard stopped working. So I got that working, and then the mouse stopped working, and then I got the headphones weren't working. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. How are you?
Oh, I'm dying.
You're still not well?
No, I'm still not well. Oh.
Well, I mean,
got,
how long that you've kept it
this
now?
is 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks
Wow,
tomorrow.
it's crazy.
So,
I'd never have anything for like that long. Are you like a bit of a type person? Like, even if you get a cold, you just keep it to yourself.
no, well, it's just I don't know where it's come from. I'm blaming him. He's brought the germs in from work, I'm sure.
Really hard to call that game. The only thing I know is you and Mama can't be friends during the game.
No, we're not called no friends at all. I'm going to slag him
Absolutely
off
not.
on Instagram and everything.
Mama Coffee has arrived, and big up Jez. How you doing? Right, so this is one of them games, isn't it? I mean, I like to have this game. I mean, I actually support you guys at times when I play against you, but because I have a lot of respect for Newcastle. So, what's your thoughts? Because you always give us a good game. So, what are you kind of thinking about Sunday?
Well, if you want to go on the last couple of games for both teams, it's just hard to call because
Mm,
we've both lost.
yeah.
Um, but then if you want to go on the last time we played each other, it was a cracking game.
Mm,
And you
yes,
supported
it
the
was.
town, which was
I
bizarre.
did. Yeah, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? I think I just lost all cake for us, and I was just like, "Come on, Newcastle, get another one."
Yeah. But
Whatever.
no,
That's the kind of guy I am.
it's I just think it's really hard to call. I really do.
Mm. I think when it comes down to like us two playing, is Joe Linton available?
No, I don't think so.
Right, so that's always a good one for us, not
Hmm.
for you, but because it all comes down to because you've got Anderson as well, whether the occasion's going to sort of get to him. I mean, he has played you like a few times, but that's always a possibility. Isaac as well. We've both got two strikers that's on form, so I think it's going to come down to who can get the distribution to the strikers and which strikers
Yeah.
can actually be more clinical. To be honest, I mean,
Well,
will Isaac be there for the game, or will he have gone to Arsenal before the game?
I don't know. He's on his way to Liverpool apparently. Where he doesn't support Arsenal anymore. He's a
Mm.
Liverpool fan.
All right. Well,
So
it's a
he's
swap
going.
deal for Darwin Nunes, isn't it?
He's
That's
going
the
to play for.
funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That is.
He's going to play for Liverpool now. Um, well, listening to Eddie Howe's press conference this morning, I mean, he had nothing but praise for Chris Wood, nothing,
Mm,
and
mm.
saying what a great guy he was, yeah, etc. And again, crying about Elliot Anderson's about selling him, wishing them nothing but the best, but hopes they have a bad game tomorrow.
Of course you
Obviously,
do. Yeah, of course you do. 100%.
but
What was your last game? Was that the City one?
that was a City one, 4-0.
Yeah. So that makes it difficult because obviously we lost against Fulham. You lost against Man City, but you got slapped up by Man City. I mean, we didn't do great against Fulham either, but so I mean, there's going to be a reaction from either team. Both teams are going to react,
You'd
and
like
it's
to
going
think
to
so.
be a difficult one. It's always like a hard battle. I think we struggle against teams like your team. We're more to the teams that are a bit more open,
Uh-huh.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I don't normally like ask you anything really tactical or anything like that because I know, but I wanted to like ask you something about it. I mean, if you don't want to answer, it's fine, but it's something to do with like the way the players go and all that kind of thing, football. So, yeah, so my tactical question to you is: when the game starts, shape do you think the ball will be?
I can't hear you for that stupid bloody dog. Say again.
I said, when the game starts, what shape will the ball be?
Hexagonal?
I don't want to ask you to like go
No,
too
no, no. I
deep,
think it might be
So,
hexagonal this time. They're
mm,
trying this new shape out. So
that's what
that,
I was thinking.
you
Do you
know.
think they might use one of the Carabao Cup balls because they're different, aren't they? They are, aren't they? They're different. So, I mean, they might use one of them. But
uh,
yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. 2 o'clock on Sunday. We've obviously, I think one you might be back now. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi's okay. I've been reading a load of like stupid shit to do with your team. I've been reading a load of like stupid shit to do with both our teams. Like Newcastle are heavily looking at Morgan Gibbs White, and I'd had Murillo, I think, was Liverpool. I mean, look, I could come out and I could do like shows on these things, but I'm just not that kind of person because the thing is, you come out and do these shows about these bullshit rumors, yeah, and then you don't come out and do the shows about, oh, I was wrong. That
well,
kind of annoys me a little bit, to be honest.
yeah. It just makes me laugh because the transfer window's closed and there's nothing happening. And if you're tapping
Mm,
up a player, you're breaking the law. So,
mm.
and I mean, I
Yeah,
showed you.
journalists. get
I
to do
showed
it.
you that statement that came from the club about the
Yeah.
the sailing of players, the selling of players. Jesus,
So absolutely, 100%.
you know.
And
So,
Jez says, "Mama." So now I know who gave me this poxy
oh,
cold. Jez has got a
Jez, this
cold
is
as
me.
well.
Good. This time last week, I was ill, absolutely ill. Tonsillitis, ear infection. Well, I haven't even got tonsils, so I don't know what the hell it was. Ear infections, chest infections, and I'm still wheezing like an old bloody engine.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one question because this was being talked about the other day because we played against Fulham and we played in that away kit. Yeah, and
Mm,
there's a lot of like Forest fans saying that we should have played in red because if the opposition's in white, then why can't we be in red? It's
yeah.
still easily see what
Yeah, yeah.
colours you're wearing and stuff. And I mean, I don't think that made a difference. I
No, I
don't
don't.
think it was one of our worst days for a long time, and Fulham seemed to have us in that respect. So, like for the game on Sunday, I think we should wear red against you guys because I don't think it's not going to be contrasting or anything like that against black
No,
and white, is it?
I don't know what the rules are now for your away kit. I mean, at one time they had to play in your away kit, didn't
Mm.
you? That was
It
the
might
whole.
still be the same. I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
Oh.
Is because I mean, how many kits have you got? Because I think we've got three. That
Yeah,
as
we've
the
got three.
uh,
We've got the main one. We've got the. I mean, this made me laugh the other day actually, because people was asking if you like the away shirt or the third kit, and I said the third kit, and it was like, oh, what do you like the third kit for? We've never been sky blue. I went, okay, then what about the away kit? Whenever's pink had anything to do with Forest. If you're gonna go there, then
uh,
I'll go there because that's got nothing to do
nah,
with
it's got
Forest.
your team badge on. You know, that's it really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, me personally, I prefer like the old days where you basically get a red first kit and then a white and red second.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much what I've always sort of preferred and stick to your colours. Carl said it's going to be a good game. Tense, I'd
Oh,
say. I think it
absolutely.
could be a really good game, to be honest. Possibly game of the weekend as well, to be honest.
It's a good job
Um,
there's miles between McCall because it would be fisticuffs. Let's be
mm,
truthful.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we won't after this show. Then we won't be
That's
talking
it. We're
again
not
anyway
speaking at all.
until Monday. So that'll be
You
that
know,
done.
and it'll be, you're not singing anymore. You're not singing.
I'll be there going away, the lads. It ain't me.
Lord.
Me. I mean, when it comes to like certain teams, yes, I'll sort of go against it and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes against teams that I actually respect, and I'm
Yeah.
totally different. Yeah, very true. Never an accountability stream from these pricks. Nope. And controlling the sale of players is only route PSR heavy affected clubs like Toon can be firm on. It's just, I hope they just get rid of it because if they're just going to get rid of these 115 charges, which it looks like they're going to do, then get rid of the PSR altogether because it's just holding clubs back,
Oh,
And
absolutely.
certain clubs are still getting to spend and certain clubs can't. And it's
Well,
just ridiculous.
we've got this style of PSR for another year, and then it all changes next year.
Yeah.
I need to read up a bit more about it before I sort of tell you, I wouldn't get it right in my head.
Have you got like any other injuries to worry about for Sunday other
Uh,
than Joe Linton? Joe Ellington, even.
is
I
Joe
always call
Ellington.
him Joe Linton.
I know everybody calls him Joe Linton, and it isn't. It's Joe Linton. Um,
Well, to be honest, Joe Linton doesn't sound very Brazilian, does it?
no, it
So it's
doesn't.
obviously going to be Joe Ellington or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to that press conference. Because they talked about Lascelles, that Chase not coming back till next season, which I don't know why we even have him in the first place.
No, well,
Callum Wilson's all right. I think it's just really Joe Ellington. That's the going to be the big miss, and he is a big miss.
No, 100. Oh, he's
when he's
total
not
big, mate.
there. He is big. You sort of think the midfield's lacking. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Tonali's been really, really good.
mm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Tonali, I think is fantastic.
Oh,
He's
I
another
think he's
one I'd
awesome.
rather not be there as well, to be honest. But I think was Joe Ellington there last time we like played you against you? I don't think he was he? I don't think he was there when we last played
Oh
you
man,
as well.
yeah, I can't remember.
Sure, I remember asking you, and you said he weren't available or something. Right, let me just cover some of this chat. Get better soon, Mama. First day I've felt alive since Monday. Yeah, it seems to be something nasty going
Yes,
around,
whatever
don't
it
you?
is, it's nasty, Jess.
I mean, all I'm having to deal with is fucking rats. Hmm. Talking about rats, well, that's not a rat. That's
It's
a
bad
cutie.
thing,
Cutie, Jacks,
isn't it? It's
Jacks,
bad
Jacks,
thing. There you go.
Jacks.
There we are.
He's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Good to hear you on the men, mate. Arsenal history and more.
Absolutely, Jess. Get well
Absolutely,
soon.
absolutely, mate. Get yourself some vitamin C and stuff like that. That's what I tend to take a lot of the time.
Brandy.
Breaking news: first glass of wine since Monday night. Oh my days! You must. You're really not well, then, mate. You're not. That is a big thing. Cheers,
Cheers,
mate.
Jess.
And big up, Anthony. How you doing, matey? Big up, Yeti. Should be a good game. I'm going for a 2-2 draw tomorrow. It's what you mean, West Ham Arsenal, because we're playing Sunday. Unless I've got it wrong, we're playing Sunday, boys. You know, 2-2 draw with West Ham would not be a good one, would it?
Oh,
And Joe Linton, great plumber from Yorkshire.
yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Linton.
And hello, Ant. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the strikers and the distribution. It's going to come down to the midfield massively, I think. That's where I think this one will be won or lost, personally. Defence, we've got quite a solid defence. I think it's going to be interesting because we're both on the rebound.
Yeah,
We're both on the rebound, so I think it's going to be interesting in that respect.
it is. It is. I'd like to think after that battering by City that we
Yeah,
took. I mean, we didn't offer anything in that game. We didn't.
nah.
And it was really, really poor. I don't know why we didn't, but I
Yeah, but
suppose
our two teams are very similar, aren't they? And when we played them, we didn't really offer anything either. You know, and
yeah.
it's when we play Arsenal, although you kind of do have their number a lot more than what we have, to be fair. But it's same as that. It's like whenever there's a team that sort of plays like them, really sort of open stuff, we tend to sort of like struggle with it a little bit, and we don't. Well, it's the stature of the team as well. I think the
Uh-huh.
team at times it gets in their heads that no, this is Man City, which is not. You shouldn't be thinking that. You should be thinking this is a game of football. Let's just go and win it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that should be your main stage. You shouldn't be worried
Absolutely.
about who it is that you're actually playing or anything like that. Anthony Herbert says no, West Ham is shit. Yeah, yeah. So it's basically
The
the same.
trouble is, though, at the minute, it's all well and good saying West Ham or shit,
Catch you in a
but
bit, Jez.
we've all had bad games, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
With every
Mm-hmm.
team. But then the teams that you think you're going to go out and batter, they turn
Yeah.
up and batter you. The
Mm.
only ones that seem to not be able to get anything is poor Leicester. They
Yeah.
cannot seem to get the lickings of a dog at the minute. They cannot.
No. No. No.
But everybody's like, oh, it's only Brighton, and yet Brighton turn up and knock you for 4-0.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's. I mean, well, yeah. I'm just having a look now. Off time, 3-0 to Brentford.
Oh, there you go. You say honest, they cannot cut a break. I
Mm.
think like that, them, I don't know, in Southampton and Ipswich, isn't it, at the bottom? I
Yeah.
think.
The thing is with Leicester, though. I mean, I know there was all crying out for like Van Nistelrooy and stuff like that. I think the only reason he was doing any good was because it was Manchester United. and
Well,
he's tied to Manchester United. I don't think he was a good idea, to be honest with you.
well, Georgie, he was all for Van Nistelrooy. He said, like, the fact that they'd sold all the decent players again, he was told there was going to be money in
Mm,
the January window, and they bought some third division foreign player or something like that for
yeah,
3 million, and that's been it. There's been nothing. And
yeah,
when you think about it, a lot of that team are aging as well.
yeah, true.
You know, relying on Jamie Vardy up front,
Yeah,
approaching 40, it's not enough.
it's not ideal, is it? I mean, I think
No,
they've got some like decent players other than that, to be quite honest. And let's face it, I mean, the last game that they played against Arsenal, Marino came on because Arsenal didn't look that convincing. I don't want to be talking about Arsenal too much, but they didn't look that convincing. Otherwise, I'd be the same as every other channel and just doing the same show every time and just saying the same thing as everybody else does. But the only thing that with that is I wasn't massively convinced. I mean, look, when Marino came on as like a standing striker, thought he did really well, but his positioning was fantastic. To be fair, so yeah, I mean, they might have a little bit of a gift there. Whether it keeps giving, though, I don't know. But
yeah,
like what Anthony says with West Ham tomorrow, I don't think West Ham's got what it takes to actually beat them. To be quite
no,
honest
not
with
really. I'll tell you who's really impressed me, mind. Over the last couple of weeks, David Moyes at Everton.
you.
He's
Mm.
well turned them around, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, really got them playing well as well. We got them playing decent stuff. I never understood the get rid of him from West Ham, to be honest, but
No,
I
I
suppose
didn't
they'll have
either.
their opinions on that. That it's not my team, so it makes no difference to me. But on to like I've seen like a few things like I don't know like whether they're true or not that we're going to struggle to keep hold of Alanga, Aina, somebody who's it that's going to come in for Murillo. Murillo's got like so much
Arsenal,
attention from everywhere,
yeah.
everywhere.
Well, according to that, the Tufties group chat, the Arsenal lad, one of the Arsenal lads, reckon that they'll be putting in a bid for Murillo in the summer. How he knows that, I have no clue. But then, of course, it's on Twitter, therefore it's true.
Where they getting all this money from? So basically, they're going to sign Isaac for 130 million. They're going to
No, it's
sign
150,
Murillo
Eddie. It's 150. Yeah,
150. They're going to sign Murillo, who's going to. We ain't going to let him go for nothing. So he's going to be 100 odd at least. They ain't gonna be signing that. If we lose Murillo, the only place that I think will actually entertain will be Real Madrid.
yeah.
I don't think we've got no choice, really. I don't think
Well,
not many teams can fight off Real Madrid.
exactly. Did you see about that? The offer from Saudi for Vinicius Junior.
No, I didn't. What's
Oh,
that?
they
How
were
much?
talking about it on the radio. 290 million euros for Vinny Junior. Well,
Mm,
I don't care what club you are. When somebody's saying, "Can we have
that
your
is,
player?" and they're carrying a suitcase of money, they're
yeah,
going. They're
I think you're
absolutely
probably
going.
right. Mm,
Whether they want to or not, you're packing their bags, aren't you? Because, I
yeah,
mean, that can replenish your team.
yeah, pretty much, pretty much. And he says Everton got Man United, got to go for an Everton
Yeah,
win.
I
Yeah,
would agree.
I'd probably say Everton win there. To be honest, I
Yeah.
mean, let's have a look, see what fixtures like there is tomorrow because I can't actually remember. So you've got Everton, Man United tomorrow dinner time. I can't look past Everton there. Arsenal, West Ham, can't really. What would you say on that one? I can't really look past Arsenal on that. To be
I
honest.
would say that's maybe a 2-3-1 win to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think I'd totally agree with that. I think I don't know. I mean, look, you don't know because football's one of those weird things. I mean, you can say this and say that, and then just be proved completely wrong. look at your game last week, Man City Newcastle. You wouldn't have said like you were going to get whacked 4-0 because I mean,
No, I didn't think we'd win.
no,
I must be
no,
honest, I didn't think we would win. But I did think we would put up more of a fight, maybe score a
yeah,
goal, and it
yeah,
maybe be a 2-3-1 win for
mm.
them. But I didn't think we'd lose like that. That was an absolute battering. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
starting to talk like bloody YouTube bods now. God,
That's how it
jeez.
gets. That's how
Cooking.
it gets eventually.
Mm,
Then you've got Bournemouth Wolves, which I'd say a Bournemouth win
that's
there.
got
To
to
be
be
honest with
Bournemouth
you,
because they've been playing really well.
yeah,
Sai must be over the moon about
mm.
them.
Yeah, I hadn't heard from him for a
No, I
while.
haven't
Actually,
seen him around for a while.
hope he's doing okay. And then Fulham's got Crystal Palace,
Oof.
and that could be quite an interesting game as well. To be
Well,
fair,
it's a derby, isn't it?
yeah,
Two
yeah,
London clubs.
yeah. So that could be quite a good one. Ipswich Tottenham. I think Ipswich beat Tottenham before, didn't they?
Yes. That's
So
absolute
that's
bollocks,
going to be an
Anthony.
interesting one. What's that? I did read if Newcastle don't finish top four, Newcastle will slap 90 million price tag on Isaac for next season. Well, he's got a contract that you've
He has a
got to go
contract,
over
exactly, to
130, I think.
2028. The
Yeah,
price tag is 150 million. The
yeah,
statement from Newcastle United is, and yet he'll verify what I'm about to say because he's seen it. We do not need to sell any top stars to anybody for any
no,
reason. And
no,
PSR is looking good, and we should be able to buy in the summer. None of the
yeah, yeah.
top players are up for sale at all.
No, absolutely, and that's exactly the way it should be. I mean, I think the one that you've got to worry about at the minute is Bournemouth because they're two like players that's really sort of excelling, in my opinion. That's Hewson, who's 19 years old, the central defender,
Mm,
and also Kirkes. You
mm.
know, a lot of teams are sort of saying, "Oh, we're going to buy." Does it annoy you though when they just
Oh,
turn around and go, "Oh, we're having him. We're having him. It doesn't
it
matter what you
it
want. We're
gets on
having
my
him."
nerves eventually. I try not to
Mm,
bite, as you know. I don't really bite. But when I say absolute bollocks and rubbish that people are spouting,
mm,
eventually it does. I just think, no, I've got to call that out. You have no clue. I don't know why people from opposition teams are so invested in what's going on with my team. I know a bit
yeah,
about Forest, I know a bit about us. I don't know anybody else's finances.
uh,
I don't know who you're buying and who you're not buying. And
they just talk utter fucking bollocks, don't they? Basically, and it's all down to like having a show and getting the super chats in and all that kind of stuff. It must be something that you get when you get monetized. Because I mean, you can tell the ones because when you go onto the stream, all you can see is barcodes everywhere. 10% off this, 10% off that. Get your fucking super chats in and stuff like that. I mean, most of them before they even start their shows, they've got merchandise made. So you know exactly what they're all about, you know, right from the actual start. They don't, I mean, that Michael Chelsea guy who was talking yesterday. I mean, I'll give him his due. He doesn't mess around. He keeps it real. He says, you know, I cannot respect that anymore. He's not messing around. He's saying exactly what he thinks. He's calling these people out. And that's exactly what we need to be doing. If we ever get to a point where we form a clan to call these people out, then he'll be part of it. I'll be part of it, and you know we'll take them on 100%.
what I find funny is you know, you've got this story of, is it Saliba
Mm,
leaving Arsenal and going to Madrid or
mm,
something? And yet the Arsenal fans, the ones not like Jez and Anthony and calling them, the other ones that I sort of have to deal with, they don't want to talk about the possibility of Saliba going to Madrid.
yeah, yeah.
No,
If
no,
they want him, he's
no,
going.
no, no. He's not going. It's just false. Just because it's on Twitter, you know, doesn't mean to say it's true. Yet you're the
Mm,
same person who's constantly posting stuff from Twitter
Yeah.
about you buying somebody else's players. Trust us, I don't care what team you're of. Madrid come knocking on your door, you pack your bags, and off you go.
They've got too much to offer. I mean, the game against Man City the other day, they look proper on it. They just look absolutely on it. And Mbappe gets his hat trick. They just look different class. And
How
that's
does
interesting. That's an interesting point as well. Because if you look at the Champions League running, I think Arsenal's got PSV, Aston Villa's got Club Bruges, or whatever you fucking call them,
Bruges?
Brussels, whatever. But they've got them, and then basically you've got like fucking, and then if Arsenal beat PSV, they've got Atletico Madrid, or they've got fucking Real Madrid because they're playing each other.
That's tasty.
So, yeah, absolutely. Big up DJB, mate. Good to see you, bro. And yes, I mean that's quite interesting, isn't it? But you know what? At the end of the day, I mean, if they can actually beat PSV, which I mean, we played PSV in a friendly, I wasn't that like sort of impressed with them, to be honest. We must be doing all right if they've got that far into the Champions
That's
League.
it.
I mean, who did Liverpool get again?
Oh, I don't
remember
know,
who it was now. I can't remember who they got now. They got a big one, I think. I can't remember.
Have they not got PSG?
That was it. Yeah, PSG. Yeah, they've got played PSG. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting. I think out of all the draws, I think Villa did all right. To be fair, with getting Club Bruges.
But I'm sure the game's round about the cup final. I'm sure they so maybe that could be a little bit of an advantage to Newcastle.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be. You know what? I that's funny you say that because I don't know what you think about Liverpool, but for me, I'm not massively convinced. I think they look a bit shaky. I mean, that game against Villa the other day, Villa really took it to them.
Yeah, they did. Villa played really, really well. I don't know. I still, I don't think Liverpool have hit top gear yet. I think there's a lot more to come from them. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Big up Steph.
Hi, Steph.
Yeah.
What do I know? I
know what you're saying. I just don't. I'm not 100% convinced. Like when they start getting attacked, I just don't see it. To be honest,
I don't think there's anybody better that can say. I don't. At this moment in time, I don't see anybody making a massive surge towards the title and taking it off Liverpool. Because at the end of the day, Liverpool's got to have a massive, massive drop off, and all of the rest, the from second down to say even fifth or sixth, has got to go on a winning streak that's so ferocious. Do you know I just can't see it. I really can't. You can finish second, third, or fourth, and I'd be clapping my hands for you and saying that's absolutely fantastic. As you know, I love the disruption. I love the disruption that the smaller teams cause to the top six. So
I think that's the big thing, isn't it? It's the disruption, and I think that's kind of what's like pretty big at the minute. The disruption that we're actually causing, and like other teams are actually, speaking about us, not in a sense. There's never no speak of like, oh, they could go on and win it or whatever. Look, we don't know what's going to happen. There's 14 games to go, is the anything could happen. One or two more Arsenal injuries, and they're done.
What I find funny is you have all the rivals like Arsenal and Liverpool, even Chelsea. Or Arsenal's got to drop off. They've got no strikers. Liverpool's got to drop off. They're not winning enough. You don't know that. It is possible for them to continue and go on and
he likes the streams, doesn't he?
Oh man, he barks at anything. He barks at his own shadow in the back door, man. The dog's a Fruit Loop. You know, any team can go on. You can win and draw, win and draw, win and draw. And maybe that's enough. I don't know.
I think that's pretty much key what you've just said, really. I think any team that's like up in that section could go on like a massive run.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
all of a sudden you
yeah.
could just get on a massive run and you could take it. It's difficult because of how many points like Liverpool's got, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. We've only got to have a few more games where, you know, they blame the ref all the time. Yet when I was watching that Villa game, fucking McAllister, he was diving before he was getting tackled, and he was getting away with it every time. But
Who
no,
was
we don't mention that ref though, Mama. We don't mention that ref.
Who was it? Was it Diaz when he dived as
Mm,
well for the penalty? I'm like, oh, come on, stop it.
yeah.
You know, and whenever I see any gripe about Michael Oliver, you know, I just say, oh, he's a two-army general. You know, what do you expect? He's looking after Newcastle.
Well, I
Why do
mean,
you think
he's
he's
done
never, ever
everything.
reffed a Newcastle game? Because he can't.
Yeah.
But there we go.
He's done us. He's done us as well a few times, and I keep saying this, and I can't stop saying this. When this happens, whether it's your team or whether it's not, we all need to stick together against these things, because sooner or later it will be you, and then it'll be you that's crying, you know, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you expect us to dive around you and go, oh yeah, it's out of order for Liverpool. Fuck you. You never fucking bothered when it happened to us.
Well,
Same
yeah.
with all the other teams. You know me, I'm Forest through and through. And I don't care about any of the others. Won't give a shit, to be honest. I want
No,
Forest to
that's,
do well.
yeah.
DJB says games are tough in Champions League at
Yeah.
this stage, guys.
The
Nothing is
oh,
easy. 100%. Yeah, you're right. Do you think you can win it, DJB? What's your thoughts on that? Carl Even.
I like
And
Carl's new name, Cork.
Cork.
Ah, I like that. That's right.
Stephanie Griffiths is
Bloody
trying
God.
to take the crown for the typo queen. Stephanie Griffiths is going in there for the crown for the typos. And good luck to you, because you've got to go a long way to beat Mama and Cole, to be fair. And next week, the games decide the title: Arsenal,
Cork.
West Ham, Forest, Man United, Liverpool, City, Newcastle. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But like I say, I think anybody that, in my opinion, anybody that turns around and says it's already done or this,
No,
that, and the other,
no,
until it's mathematically impossible, I will not go down that route.
no,
You know, I'll
no.
never say never until it's actually 100% impossible. And I think with like the injuries that like certain teams are getting, I mean, I saw Robbie on talking to Goldbridge, and they said Goldberg again, Goldbridge today, and you're next. And you know, he was saying like you know, going on about sort of that it was their injuries and it weren't fair for their injuries. What about everybody else? What about every fucker else?
Injuries.
You know what I mean? We've all got injuries. You got
Yeah,
decimated with injuries last season.
we were just, well, we didn't have a first team half this bloody season.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things, isn't it?
Spurs
But
have got decimated with injuries as well.
the thing is, if you
Not that
want to
anybody
compete
cares, but
at the top level
mm,
and, you know, be playing high intensity games in the Premier League and competing for Champions League and cup games and everything else, unfortunately, that's the price you pay.
of course it is.
Newcastle paid it, you
Of course
know.
it is. Carl Rossi question. The simple question I ask is referees the reason to where your club is nowadays, probably not too sharp. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we get good and we get bad, don't we? And that's the key thing with referees. 1 minute you'll get good decisions that you won't cry about, and then when you get bad decisions, you cry about them. So it's one of them things.
He sounds like a character out of Star Trek, Cork.
It does, it? Cork, the Imperial Commander.
Cork.
Engage. And Carl Rossi says, agreed, DJB, no hope I have left for this club. Season in, season out, I don't see us lifting anything. What's your thoughts on like when you hear things like, oh, we should have spent in the window and all this, that, and the other? I mean, you look at how much has been spent. Yes, I think we should have like gone for, got another striker in. We tried for Wissa, and I think we tried for the Brazilian guy, which we could get next season. Forgot his name, to be honest. I read it earlier, but I forgot it altogether. I've never heard of him, to be quite honest with you. But then again, I've never heard of half of the ones we've got now. Look at how they're performing. So, I mean, it's not just down to what you've sort of heard of or anything like that. So, you got to sort of do Captain Cock. Captain's log. Trouble with tribbles. Trouble with typos.
Well, I mean, I knew we wouldn't be spending any money anyway, because that's what they said. They said there would be at least 3 transfer windows where we didn't do anything, and it would be player trading, so that we could spend at a later date,
100%.
which by all accounts is this coming summer.
I hate to do this, but I've got to go to the toilet, so I'll be back in.
Well, sod off then.
Just get Jax and do like a melody. Just
pause the dog guy. This is Jax. There's his tail, little bat thing. Yeah, I don't know. That Coco, I really like that. That tickles me. As you know, I'm easily entertained, to be fair. We should have appointed a proper manager 5 years ago instead of spending more in January, if you're asking me. Well, I suppose, I mean, I know how most of you lads feel about Arteta. Hand on heart, do you think that this season you will win something? Or do you just believe it's not going to happen? You know what I mean? Do you think you could, I don't know, progress? I don't know. What's that? What cup would you love to see you have a proper go? Either, Carl. Either, honestly. I mean, I was at bloody junior school the last time Newcastle lifted a cup. I got a D off for it. But, and the bloody thing doesn't exist anymore. No, just anything, Carl. That's the God's honest truth. We've been close. We've been close a few times. We got beat by Liverpool in the FA Cup. Arsenal's beaten us in the FA Cup. And although you're really proud of your team and everything, coming away and you just think it's just never going to happen. Winning the Premier League, apart from Kevin Keegan's lot, was never going to be. And I mean, it's at this point in time, it's just pie in the sky. And I sort of look and I think it at the time, like when me and my dad used to go to the games, and my dad would be telling us about like previously during the 50s and stuff, when Newcastle were good, when they were winning things, and Jackie Milburn and all of that. And I think those people forget about that. We're a one club city, we're only small, blah, 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 blah. We don't matter, but we do. We do matter. All the clubs matter. Forest matters. Birmingham, Bradford, Leeds, we all matter. We're all
black and white matters. Black and white lives matter.
That's exactly right. But the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, Carl, I really don't care. It's a piece of silverware and it goes in the cabinet and the club's name's on it and it's there for the rest of history. When I'm dust and I'm long gone, my granddaughters will be able to say, well, they won something. Or they could be saying, I remember when my mama was dead happy about that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's
Oh,
it.
it's gold. It's absolute gold,
It
isn't it,
is.
really? I mean, when you get to see it, I mean, there's a lot of it I saw and a lot of it I didn't get to see and that, but you know, it is gold when your team wins something because it kind of gives you bragging rights, doesn't it? I mean, I know it's like a Man United winning a Carabao Cup. It's not the same thing.
No,
If
it
you win
isn't.
a Carabao Cup, it's like the first thing you've won since 10 BC, isn't it?
It's like, well, I've told you the city will come to a standstill. It
Yeah,
will. You know, 2
100%.
million turned up to see them come home from getting beaten in FA Cup final.
Mm,
2 million. So
yeah.
if that's how many turned up for a failure, what they're going to do is win.
I'll
There'll be
tell
no
you what.
trains, no bus, there'll be nothing. And they'll be
Well, I hope
saying,
there's one to get me there.
eh?
Hope
Oh,
there's one
every
there
that I've
to
had
get
loads of
me
people
there.
say,
Celebration.
Flossie, can we come up? I mean,
Mm,
anybody can come up. I'm not stopping you.
that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
You know
Really,
what I mean? The
absolutely
city
amazing.
will party for a week.
Yeah,
It will.
100%.
They'll party for a week. It'll be awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Carl Rossi says we should have appointed a proper manager 5 years ago instead of spending more in Jan. If you're asking me, well, that thing that Goldberg, yeah,
Goldbridge.
I don't know why I keep trying to say
I don't know
Goldberg,
why you call him
but
Goldberg either.
that thing that Goldberg, well, whatever, Goldberg, I'm saying Goldberg. What he said was like, I can't understand Arsenal fans moaning, which I'm sure Lee Gunner's going to have an issue with, because who else you going to get that can do any better? It's like, well, surely there's a lot of managers there that could do any better.
Well,
Actual managers might
yeah.
do better. You know, actual
Uh-huh.
people who know what they're doing could do better. What cup would you love to see? Oh, I think you've already
Yeah, we
answered
covered
that,
that
haven't you,
one,
mate?
Yeti. Yeah.
And no, matey, not at all. And sadly, and I feel that, matey. And yeah, so got like a few things. And on hot, Arsenal are not winning anything for me. Champions League, I would love seeing Premier League titles.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
Of
it's
course.
going to be tough in it to
Yeah.
win that Champions League. To be honest.
DJBs have been like my age and your age, where we
Mm,
can remember Arsenal winning things
mm,
and stuff. I mean,
100%.
Arsenal were the team,
Yeah.
weren't they? Tony Adams now. Oh man, Tony Adams.
To be honest, I never really took that much notice of
Oh, I did.
Arsenal like back in the day. Obviously I watched Match of the Day a lot, so they was
Yeah.
always on that with the Invincibles and all
Uh-huh.
that kind of stuff. And I remember the talk of like because them getting the Invincibles was one game more than us, you
Yeah.
know. So obviously I knew about that, and it was like you bastards. But I've never really sort of like had any sort of issues with Arsenal. It's more since I've become like a YouTuber, and you know, and you hear and see a lot of this fucking
Yeah.
crap. And it's just like, and the disrespect that we get, I think that's kind of where I, you know, me, if somebody backs me into a corner, I mean, this is going to be weird, but I'm like a rat. I will go for your fucking throat.
Raticus.
You know, we don't want to be talking about rats, but of course you matter. Anyone saying otherwise doesn't breathe
Oh,
football.
Carl,
Everybody matters.
honestly, it's a frequent thing, Pet. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a frequent thing. We don't matter.
Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
no, I remember Arsenal way back in the day.
Mm,
I was brought up to hate Chelsea.
yeah.
My dad was a Scotsman, you know, a very proud Scotsman, and everything else, but loved Newcastle. And whenever Chelsea was on, he used to call them Fancy Dan's King's Road, a word that I'm not prepared to say on YouTube, and stuff like that. But he always had a lot of respect for Arsenal,
Mm.
and you know, like when oh, who was the manager? Like in the mega early 70s, was that it was before George Graham. Anyway,
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
DJB would probably
He
know.
he'll be yeah,
Desert
he'll
no.
be able to say. And it was Tony Adams that
Mm.
got. I mean, I love, absolutely adore Tony Adams. So whenever Arsenal were on, I would watch them because Tony Adams was on. So I
Mm.
know a little bit more about Arsenal's
Oh,
history there.
he was quality,
He's just
absolute quality.
that
I
man.
mean, It was the most
epitomises what
boring
it.
team to watch. There was the most
Yeah,
boring team to watch, but they
Terry
won.
Neal. Thank
They
you.
won.
That's him. Yeah,
You know?
Terry Neal. My dad used to talk about him a lot. But just Tony Adams just epitomised everything that a captain
Mm. Oh,
should
that to
be.
me is like what's missing in the game nowadays.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, you look at all these different teams, and they all had a certain. Back in the day, they always had a certain like captain. Like we had Stuart Pearce,
Oh,
they
God,
had
yes, yeah.
they had Tony Adams. You know, and you just had these captains that were just like take no shit. You know, Roy Keane, get out there, do your job, or get out the team, basically. And even the players back then was bothered about somebody winging it. You
Yeah,
know, somebody, you know, like an Anthony for Man United. How long do you
yeah.
think he would have lasted if Keane was there?
No,
Do you
not
think
very
Rashford
long.
would have picked up his game if Keane was still there?
Well, exactly. But if you go back to sort of like, I don't know if you'll remember this, like the early 70s and everything,
Hmm.
um, everybody on the pitch gave that all. And like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say, they
yeah.
did not appreciate it if they thought somebody was swinging the lead and acting. It was like, they drag them up.
Mm,
Like today, you go and they fall down and they hold their head and they roll about and stuff like
yeah.
that. It's pathetic. It is.
That's why you got a lot of fallouts with the team. You know, like
Yeah,
when if you did something that was stupid or something
yeah,
like that, you your captain would turn around and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he'd be like, "Oh well, I can't do this, that." And that's how you had that. You don't get that nowadays
exactly,
because
exactly that.
they just pick captains that just go, "Oh yes, sir, no, sir, free
I
pass,
know.
full, sir." And I think the reason they do that is because of weak managers. If you've got a weak manager, they want to put somebody out there that's not as like overpowering as what they want to be.
Hmm.
If they don't take over their spot, whereas back in the day, like most of the managers was like, I don't care whether you like Roy Keane, for instance, he's a perfect example. Didn't like Alex Ferguson or anything like that. Alex never really said anything, according to what he said in like interviews and stuff like that, because he knew that when Roy Keane was on the pitch, he knew he was going to get 100%.
Yeah.
So he just left it. He basically just left it to him. You can't do that now. You can't do
No,
it.
you cannot. You can't.
DJB says Newcastle are beating Liverpool on pens. I feel it, guys. You know what? I've been thinking that as well.
There's a
That's
few
something I've
people
been thinking
have
as well.
said that. I'll take that. I will.
Mm.
I'll take it.
If you can like really sort of put in a performance and Isaac's on it, yeah, with their defense at the minute, I think you could win that. I honestly do think you could win that. And they're fighting, they're going for the Premier League, they're going for the Champions League, and they're also they are still in the FA Cup, I think, aren't they? But they're going for the Carabao as well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot there. And I think if it came down to any of them, I mean, they wouldn't want to drop any of them. They would never say they would, but but that one, in my opinion, I really do hope you guys win that. To be honest,
Yeah, I'd love it. It'll be historical. It'll just be crazy.
Carl says you two need to do shows together. Being a great listen, absolutely, absolutely. And
Aye,
cheers for that, matey.
we can yak for the length of the day, Carl. You know that
We
for the
can,
truth.
100%, 100%. I spent most of my social life here apologising on behalf of Arsenal fans. I'm ashamedly all too aware of the disrespect from these fair weather blowings. Yeah, absolutely right. They're real leaders on the pitch
Very
nowadays.
true.
Pierce, Adams, Terry, Keane. Yeah, Terry's another one. Yeah, cheers for that. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of like others. My advice weren't Dennis Wise. Was Dennis Wise the captain of the crazy gang as well?
Yeah. But
That was another one.
I can't even think of any what other captains Newcastle
Was
had
it
back in
Vinnie
the day.
Jones?
I can't
Yeah, I couldn't think of any
I
that
can't think
like
of any.
really sort of stood out
But
for
then
me.
again, they would all like Sir John Tudor and all of them. They'd all
Mm.
be marshalling anyway.
Mine Shearer was captain, wasn't
Shearer was captain, aye.
he? I mean, well, there's one that you can't overlook, isn't he?
Well, no, not really.
Because when he's on the pitch, he was like a proper 100%er.
Yeah.
And if he could like get a chance on goal, the way he used to smack that ball, was just unbelievable, to be honest.
Did you see how he's refused all they've asked him to do commentary and punditry and stuff for the Carabao Cup, and he's refused it all. He's travelling down to Wembley with the fans, and he'll be in
Nice,
with the fans like he
nice.
was the last time.
Mm,
I don't know if
that's
you've seen
awesome.
that where they circle him. It's him and one of his sons is standing amongst the fans,
Mm,
and he's got his cap, and they're going
mm.
Alan Shearer, Shearer like that. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
wait, I mean, you can't argue that. I mean, he's a proper
yeah,
Geordie, and he's a
he
proper
is.
lad when it comes to Newcastle. My advice for the
There's your
thousandth time
gobshite.
is please ignore the likes of AFTV, Goldbridge, and many others. Don't give them airtime. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear what you're saying. Was a rugby fan player since young at DJB. Tony Adams got me hooked on Arsenal. Legend and leader. Oh, he was class. He was class.
Frank
But then,
McClintock was captain
mm,
before Tony Adams. I remember him as well.
mm,
Frankie.
I still think they've, out of all the defences I've seen in the league, I think they had one of the best ones I've seen
Oh,
with what
absolutely.
they had at that time when Tony Adams was there. They was
Yeah.
absolutely impenetrable.
You
And
had
when he
them.
had got them corners as well, and he always managed to sort of shift himself. I mean, he scored some great goals from corners on that
And
back
you
post.
also had Steve Bruce and Gary Pallister at
Mm,
Man United
yeah,
in front of Schmeichel. They were
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Gary Pallister, another one of my favourite players. Loved him as well.
When you look at like football nowadays, it's such like a shame, is it? I mean, it's kind of why I've like stopped doing all the watch alongs for the weekend because they just a lot of the games just bore the shit out of me. So I'm just like, well, what is the point? Like, kind of like doing these games when the football's just not interesting. If I could do it from back in the day, I'd do it.
Aye.
100%.
Do you not think, though, going back, we'll even go into the 80s, you take a footballer from the 80s, a top footballer
Hmm.
from the 80s to a top footballer now, and compare them in size that today's footballers are skinny little wimps who've got no meat
Hmm.
on their bones.
Yeah.
And yet,
Yeah.
the fans of today would call those footballers fat. It's like when they say fat Frankie Lampard. I never
Hmm.
thought he was. Where's that come
No, I
from?
wouldn't say he was fat
I,
personally.
Rhys James is fat. Yes, he carries a bit of more timber than what the players
Mm.
of today. But to me, that's how a footballer should be looking.
The one that I would say would probably would stand out to me that was a bit fat was probably Kenny Sampson
John
at
Barnes,
Liverpool. Yeah, John Barnes. I mean, he was quite well set though, wasn't he? He was quite
yeah,
a big guy. Jan Mulby,
Colaccini, that's him. Well done, Cole.
Jan Mulby as well.
Yeah, uh-huh. But they
He was a
still
big
could
guy, but he was
run.
bloody good.
They
Mm.
still could run. It's like Roy Keane says, all this chicken and pasta makes them weak. Yeah, he's frozen. Oh, he's back. Yeah,
No,
Roy
no.
Keane, he said in an interview they don't eat enough red meat.
Mm. Yeah, I think you're onto something there, and I think also as well is back in the day. I don't think like everything was so like intense with the
No,
training and all
no.
that kind of stuff, and that's why they're getting injured so easily. I mean, when I'm watching a game and I see somebody flying onto somebody, it's an awesome tackle. I mean, he still gets done for it
Yeah, yeah.
because of intent. Well, obviously, his intent, he wanted to get the ball. That's the whole point of tackling. And you see it and you just think, yeah, that's what you want to see. And then it just gets called up all the time. It's the same as like ice hockey, you know. I used to love like watching ice hockey and stuff like that, but then all these things came in where it's like, oh, as soon as one player starts to argue with another, we'll take them off for 2 minutes each. Well, no, you leave them on, and then it builds, and then all of a sudden they have a fight, which is like what a lot of the fans actually sort of
Of
want to
course it
see.
is. Yeah.
But they kill it nowadays, and there's so many games that you watch where the ref's just too over the top and takes a player off, and it just kills the game.
It's too sanitised.
Yeah.
Jax, he's barking it
It just
for little Lola. That's why he's barking it.
oh, you got is that the
Yeah,
new one you've
I've
got?
got a house guest. She's curled up on her bed, and that's who he's barking at. He keeps going and having a bark at her. He
He's a
thinks he's a
bully.
bloody Rottweiler, man.
He's a
Get in your
bully.
bed, lad.
What dog is that then? What kind of dog is the one
Lola's
you've got?
a cocker spaniel.
Ah, right, yeah.
But she's
They'll
very
just sort of
timid.
not
She's
worried.
very timid and
Yeah,
very
that's not
shy.
good, is it?
And of course, little Gobby here thinks I'm hard, and
Mm.
you know, but there we go.
Carl says, I remember my cousins from France going crazy. You signed Adam
Adam
Ben
Ben
Arthur
Arthur,
instead of
you
us.
know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You've
He
had
was
some good
some
players.
player, and then he just died off. He just.
You've had some good players. I'll tell you what, back in the
Absolutely.
day, I think mostly when like Bobby Robson was there, and also when Kevin Keegan was there.
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Newcastle games.
These were awesome.
David Ginola and Asprilla and all. I mean, they just had such like good players back then.
Literally, when you were at the match and the roaring, you felt as if the whole stadium was lifting up and dropping down.
Yeah.
It was just awesome.
You had some great players. Philip Albert. I mean,
Philip
he was
Albert,
a really good player as well. Rob Lee was another
Rob
decent
Lee.
player as well. Remember when your two players started having a fight?
Kieran Diane Lebo, yeah.
That's right. I can remember that. That's the good old days when you actually start having a fight with each other.
That was crazy, that. Absolutely crazy.
It's entertaining though, isn't it? It's actually,
Yeah.
It's entertaining, and they kind of took that kind of thing out of the game now, which is kind of sad, to be honest.
You know what I've noticed though? If you go back and look at like old photographs of footballers from the 70s up to maybe the early 80s, they've all got no front teeth.
Yeah.
And they're playing, they've got no teeth. Because they always got their teeth knocked out because of the headbutting in it. Where now all the lads now have got a perfect set of teeth.
Yeah.
How weird's that?
I know.
You know, I mean,
I think that says a lot, doesn't it? Really,
doesn't it? When Malcolm McDonald smiled, there was nothing there.
Yeah, I never forget when he's in the World Cup, I think it was, and Stuart Pearce did a free kick against Brazil, and his power that he used to hit that left foot free kick was absolutely legendary, and he knocked Branco out. And he was like a tough guy, and he just hit him straight in the face with a ball, fucking knocked him clean out.
Well, it says a lot, doesn't it? But then Piazzi was just a tremendous footballer.
No, he was absolute first class. He wasn't a very good manager, to be honest.
No.
Unfortunately, that wasn't really his forte.
That wasn't where he's a good number two, and he's a good coach and everything behind the scenes, but not as a manager. No, I still love Stuart Pearce to this day.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not quite that keen on him as a pundit. He seems a bit soft to me, but obviously, you get players that bring it when they're on the pitch, but then, are different when they're off the pitch, sort of thing, because, they have different sort of personalities.
Yeah.
All the talent in the world. Dimitri Payet was a world beater. Yeah,
but he wasn't in the tune call. He was West Ham.
Yeah, he weren't Newcastle. He who was that one that went to Spurs? Did he go to Spurs as well? Did he start in
we QPR? Did call often took a chance on players that like Tino.
You did what we're doing now. You did what we're doing now, which, and to be honest, you're still doing it as well. You're just getting held back by this PSL.
Yeah, Tino Espria, Czech Tiote.
You had some cracking players back in the day. You never quite got there though.
No,
never quite sort of got there.
Just that one last step. I mean, that giving that 12-point lead away was devastating. Devastating. But that was
Yeah.
Keegan's fault, that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was, it was Keegan's fault. He got too big for his boots. And he kept
Got
changing the
in his
team.
head, didn't he? Yeah, he absolutely got in his head.
Oh,
So yeah,
yeah.
you're right there. Oh wait, Payet was West Ham, I think. Never mind, I had the memory of a goldfish. I think he went Spurs first, if I remember right.
Yeah,
If I'm
I don't
thinking of
know.
the right player, I don't know. Keown is bought. Yeah, Keown
Yeah.
is totally.
Oh, that man angers me so much when I hear him on the radio. He really does. He really does.
He just talks like a woke fucking idiot, doesn't he? He just got no like sense at all with any of it. And like Cole says, he's just bought, because any footballer should be able to sort of look at Arteta and realise this guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, listen, I'll tell you who is a good listen, is Emmanuel Petit. He absolutely
Yeah, he's
rips
another
them
good
to
one as well.
pieces. He's not,
Mm.
he won't have it at
Mm.
all. He won't. And I
Good.
like him as well.
Yeah, good. Good. That's what you need. I mean, because these are past heroes and past legends, so you expect a little bit more from them.
Yeah.
Unlike like
Nice.
Ian Wrights and all that lot, and you can see that they're actually selling out. And the first thing they'll do if like Arteta got fired or something like that, or left or something like that, they'll be the first one sitting there going, "Oh well, we needed a change. We've
Yeah.
needed a change for ages." They just change whatever the situation is. They just go on to the opposite side, and that's why I don't respect it. I loved him, and now I hate him. Manu Petit doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. When he was on the radio the other day, they played him a clip. So it was an argument Martin Keown was having with Simon Jordan, like usual, on a Monday. And Manu says, he says, the man's an idiot, because he always goes, He says, the man's an idiot,
It's
It,
not an argument, though, is it? It's not an
it
argument
just,
between Keown and Jordan. Jordan destroys him.
absolutely, every time. And you
He
can tell
absolutely
because Keown
destroys him.
starts shouting. In that, and it's really funny. But honest, Manu Petit had me in kinks when he was ripping into Martin Keown, and when they approached Martin Keown, when Jim mentioned it to Martin on the Monday, and he's just went, he's entitled to his opinion, and I'm thinking, you're scared of him, aren't you?
Yeah, don't want to take him on.
No.
Right, on to the next one, Southampton, Brighton. I nearly always say Birmingham. I don't know why, but Brighton.
That's got to be Brighton's, hasn't it?
That's got to be a Brighton game, hasn't it?
But again, they've been a team that's played really, really well, and then they can fall off and have a crap game and get well beaten.
Well, it's the Premier League, isn't it? I mean, one thing I've noticed about the Premier League is one thing I'm really enjoying as well is it's becoming very similar to the Championship, where you can get beat by anybody, and that's why I always like the Championship. So I'm kind of glad that it's become like that, because we've absolutely caused one or two shocks. Obviously, we the league leaders can't beat us, and we're firmly in their heads. So I mean, that's not a bad thing to have, is it? Really? But Carl Rossi said he says worse on French TV. He loves the current Arsenal regime. Yeah, I've never
Good for
watched
him.
that. My dad does send me clips, and I'm dying.
Awesome.
Does Burkamp really sort of say anything? I think he's said a few things as well.
I think he said a bit, but he doesn't. I think Dennis Bergkamp's just very quiet and
It's always been
unassuming.
like that, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He always let his feet do the talking, and fuck me, did they talk? He was an absolute class player, and I can remember when I first saw him, when he was playing for Holland, and Van Basten. That Van Basten goal from the corner. Oh my days, that volley. Right, he's pretty much right near the corner flag, and he volleys it straight into the corner. What an awesome goal. I think something happened to him after that. I think he got some kind of thing that happened to him or something.
I don't know.
I mean, that was when they had like some decent players and stuff like that. But Aston Villa and Chelsea.
Oof.
I think Villa, the
Yeah.
way they played the other day.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think Michael will like it. He'd probably have his 2 spoons out right now, saying, "What do you mean, Billy, you bastard?" and all that kind of stuff. But I'll go for you, Yeti. I'll come for you, and yeah, all that. But yeah, I like what I saw from Villa the other day, and I like what they was sort of Rashford was like heavily involved as well.
Yeah, he was.
And I thought they looked decent, to be honest.
Yeah. And when Villa are on it, they really are on it. They're good.
Yeah. And then on to the big one, which is Newcastle and Forest. What's your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think that you're going to
I
bounce
think it'll
back
be
and
a
you're going to win
draw,
it?
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be a draw.
I think we're going to win it 3-1.
Okay.
3-1 or 3-2.
There should definitely be goals in it.
Yeah, 3-3. That'll be one hell of a
that'll be a cracking
watch
game.
along. That'll be great. That will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the reason I say that is because when we get beat, we tend to bounce back. We've done it most of the time this season.
So do we. That's why I'm saying a draw.
It's always between you guys. If it's between you and us, I think we're very similar teams. I think we are 100% similar teams, and I think it's going to be a war. Basically, it's going to be an absolute war, and I think it's going to come down to who can get the distribution to the strikers at the right time, because both of them are on massive form at the moment.
Yeah.
Isaac's 1 goal away from Chris Woods.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Either way, it's one of them where it's like, well, if we was to lose or we was to draw or whatever, won't make no difference. It will do at the time, not when I'm watching the game. But at the same point, I'd also look at it as what we've done this season's been absolutely immense. And if it all of a sudden kind of like goes the opposite way, then, mate, I ain't worried. We've made some of them sit up. They've took notice. None of them's going to go to a Forest game anymore like they did last season and go, "Oh, it's only Forest, we'll beat these." They're all going to have that little bit of like intrepidation, if that's the right word. These could do us because of what we've done with Liverpool, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I said to you the other day. Even if you drop down and finish 5th, it's your best season for however long.
Yeah.
Carl
says a draw. I'd go with a draw, to be honest. If it was going to be a draw,
I'd be quite happy if we finished in the Europa League spot. That would do me.
Yeah.
Rather than be playing in Europe. We've had our shot in Europe. Villa's had their shot. Your turn to have your shot in Europe. We'll go into the Europa League or the Conference League. It's a little bit less intense. Sort of thing, and it might. I mean, you never know. We could win that. Bloody hell! Imagine.
Do you know what? When you went into the Champions League, I was massively impressed, and I think that you got screwed.
Oh, absolutely!
You definitely got screwed, and
was
I was massively impressed. I mean, what 4-0 against PSG?
Yeah.
With Mbappe and all that kind of stuff. 4-0.
Exactly.
I was
that.
proper impressed with you guys when you did that Champions League.
Indeed.
I thought that was fantastic.
But so like I say, I'd quite happily finish in the Europa or Conference League place,
Yeah.
and us have a shot at it that way.
Yeah, totally, 100%. What on Sunday 4:30, Manchester City, Liverpool? What you thinking there?
Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm kind of sort of think the only thing I would say is like Man City's got nothing else. Well, I don't know if they're still in the FA Cup, but getting knocked out of the Champions League, there could be like a major sort of like thing coming back. But I don't
The
know. I think it
midfield's the
could be a
midfield's
draw. I
not
reckon.
great.
No.
Bernardo Silva does nothing now.
Mm,
He does nothing. Gundogan's not good enough,
mm,
and he hasn't got the players that he used to have to put on. And
yeah.
I think this is the one game. You know how the other night when at the Liverpool Villa game and
Mm,
Slot took off Trent and the other players, and the Liverpool fans were kicking off. I'm thinking he's saving them for the City game. That's what
yeah.
that
Yeah.
was about.
Yeah.
That's what I believe anyway. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I was thinking. He's saving them. He wants them bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for City, because if they'll say beating City is a massive, massive thing,
Mm,
and that's something they can beat City with. Where if City were to beat Liverpool, it's like in their heads, oh, we're not that, maybe niggle at them a little bit. But I
mm,
think it's Liverpool's, definitely.
mm. Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to Salah, these are the kind of games where that guy shows his quality and all that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So, I mean, I think it could be quite interesting with that. I'm still, like I say, I'm still not convinced with Liverpool, to be honest. I think it could be quite a big scoring game, to be honest. I think either's defence is not at the point where it should be at the minute, personally.
Mm, I don't know. I don't watch them enough, if I'm honest.
Mm.
That's
No, neither do I. Neither do I, to be honest with you. But it's just like what I've seen, like on the highlights and all that lot when they get a goal against them and things like that. And it's time these big teams start taking a fall, to be honest.
mm,
And other teams like ourselves and yourselves and Bournemouths,
mm-hmm.
started to get their bit. Because Bournemouth's just going on and on and on. I mean, they
Quietly
don't
going
seem
about
to
their
be
business,
stopping, do they?
aren't they?
Yeah, and it'd be tragic, in my opinion. It'd be tragic if Spurs all of a sudden decided to sack Ange and they was to take the Bournemouth manager. What his name? I forgot his name. Harry's not Aristotle, is it? Ariola. That's it. Yeah, yeah. I can fucking names right.
He was a Greek theologist, man. Aristotle. Jesus Christ. Um,
Yeah, I think that'd be a major
but then,
like bad thing, to be
but
honest.
then, would he go?
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Because if you
this
if
is
you
the thing. Yeah.
looking at Spurs,
Mm,
it doesn't matter who's gone there,
yeah.
who they've
Yeah.
had.
True.
So would you? Is there a club where you think, oh well, if I go there, I can do this, this, and this? I'm
Mm,
not so sure about that. I'm really not sure.
true. I mean, like I say, I mean, you don't know like what's going to happen. I would hope he didn't do that because there's so many managers that sort of gone to Spurs. Nuno did.
Mm-hmm.
Look how that works, and they got rid of him too soon. And there's
Conte,
too many managers that, yeah,
Mourinho,
too many managers that they get rid of too soon. And I think they need to be looking at players, but that's Spurs, and Spurs are who they are, and that's how they are in it, really. But
yeah,
yeah. Anyway, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
no problem.
Always great
It's
to
been a laugh.
have a chat, and big up to everyone who's been in on the stream as well.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going well on this channel. 3.90 now on the subs. So
Hey,
sure you
on the
like
way
and
to
stuff.
four.
But I'm just doing like these on a musher things and like downloading the videos, obviously, like keyed on to a few on a musher fans and all that kind of stuff. So starting to sort of go up in that respect. And that's how I always wanted it anyway. So, you know, as you know, if you don't fit in, you'll fuck off. End of story. No doubt about that. So, yeah, cheers for coming in. And to everybody that's in the chat, big up to everybody. Big up to Jez. Make sure you get yourself better, mate. Keep drinking that wine, mate. And yeah, and keep it real. Keep it Yeti. Keep it real. Keep it Mama. Don't not saying fucking Anthony because he's a prick. And yeah, and my new one is that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for the support. Tatty fucking bye.